It depends on the situation, what situation is, and I don't remember what did I ask him, but as an actor, there is a situation you are reacting to a situation, and director is looking at the situation in a particular way. Then you tell him your perspective. Director has his own way, but you want to share it with him, and sometimes he incorporates, sometimes he doesn't. We started with a section which was in the middle of the film, and it's a very intense section, and so there were a few things in my mind, so I shared it with him. So maybe he was talking about that, but your thinking process is on, so you never know what's coming out from you. There was a climax, but we were thinking it's not right. It's not right. We still need. And I was the person who was instigating it. No, this doesn't satisfy the audience. We are in this city, then Delhi, then I think Jammu में हम लोग गए थे, राजस्थान गए थे, and there are a few places. And it's a small budget film, so but we managed. Sometimes it happens, you can understand that this film is a wrong choice. कई बार ऐसा लगता है. Sometimes from the beginning that this film is blessed, and it remains blessed throughout. Like Piku, the day we started, the day we end, it had just the function of the film was to provide us happiness. It was so blessed film, beautiful. So there are films which you, while doing it, you realize this is a mistake, and what we thought is not the same. It's not the way we imagined it, we thought about it. Even this film, the way we imagined was different, but Nishi has his own way of telling a story. So we didn't want to impose the way we visualize the film, because we are not the director, we are not telling the story. So for us, it's better to give him the responsibility and let his way overpower the shape of the film. And that's sometimes difficult, because you have invested so much of time. And but the writer always does it. The writer visualizes the film, and he hands it over to the director. There is a director's vision which overtakes, and that's the beauty of filmmaking. It's such a collaborative art form. Every department has puts their own their own way of looking at the story, and that's how the dynamics comes into picture. I keep desiring for romantic and lighter roles, but it's a journey. Whenever I'm just trying to do it, I'll get a chance. But see, I'm not in a position where I could create subjects for myself. Things are getting better, but still, if I want to work with, let's say, a director who's making film for 100 crore, he would not work with me because I can't bring that kind of money. So I'm waiting patiently, but I do have a desire to do romantic films. I am doing 2 films after this, and which are romantic. I do want to do humorous films, but I need to have a humor which I can relate to. I can do thank you, once or twice, but I need to find a humor where I can relate to it, and I could entertain audience. I want to do humorous films. I want to entertain people. I want to, but I should be able to relate to it. I cannot just do a comedy which works for the other actors. I need to find my thing into it, where I could relate to. There were comedy films offered to me, but I thought maybe I'm not right for that kind of comedy. I've already done Thank You. I don't, and I enjoyed it at that time. But I need something else. I need people. See, I'm not a writer, so I don't sit with the director and start writing. I do have a take on the story, whether it's engaging me or not, and that's what I look. That's what I try to find in the story, whether it's entertaining me or not. And but sometimes what happens, there are people who come with a great idea, and they have a different interpretation to the story. So initially, I tried to change it. I said, "Yeah, I'm not relating to this. Let's make it this way." And then I realized it's a futile exercise, because that person is a storyteller and it should come from him. I cannot, hold his finger and ask him to make a film which I want. I think it should come from him, and you cannot change much for director. The only thing which you can look for is whether you are relating to what the director has in his mind. I think they're exposed to cinema all over the world. There is Hollywood cinema which are coming to our country, and there is a net where they can download anything, and thank God that you can download. Please don't download Hindi films. Please don't download Indian films. Please download other films. So they are desiring for more, and they are also expecting that our industry start giving them the substance, because they want to see themselves in their कब तक हॉलीवुड की ये भूत उड़ रहे हैं और ये ये उड़ रहे हैं, इसके अंदर रिलेट करेंगे अपने आप को. They need stories which are from our society, which are from which are about our people. And that's why these films like Piku or Neerja and other films that they're working, or Talwar, because they can see themselves, they find a resonance in those stories. Earlier, there wasn't any audience for these films. Now the audience is becoming bigger and bigger, this kind of audience. The only the alarming thing is that the youth, we shouldn't lose youth to Hollywood audience. There is a danger that we would end up doing films which are big star festival release. सिर्फ फेस्टिवल्स पे रिलीज होती है, और फेस्टिवल पे कब्जे हो गए ना आजकल. ये मेरा ही तेरा ही तेरा. Either those films will be making, or family films, but other films maybe youth will start watching only Hollywood cinema. That's the warning sign. It's a kind of alarming sign. We should think about it, because it's a and Hollywood का जो history रहा है, they have eaten up all the industry. आप हर वीक की कहानी उठा के देख लीजिए, जब भी आई है, हिंदी फिल्म is not being able to compete with them. And कोई भी फिल्म वहाँ की आ रही है, मैंने कहा इसका नाम भी नहीं सुना, ये कौन सा, किसको ऑडियंस के बारे में कैसे पता, बट ऑडियंस वहाँ जा रही है. So we'll have to pull up our socks, and we have to do films where they could get engaged, entertained, and some kind of resonance they should find. So audience is hungry, but we are lagging behind. And the most important thing जो मुझे लगता है कि Hindi film industry should come together for these things, you know, what's happening in censor and about this publicity budget and how South Indian film industry has sorted out these things. You know, they have done few good things for the industry, and we should create an atmosphere where a small budget film which creates a trend, which has the tendency to experiment, and the experiment, you know, when you do experiment, you find a new way to go. I still remember when in the initial days when we were in drama school, I saw elements of Govind Nirai's film in Subhash Ghai cinema. You know, so how things we influence each other. So we should create an atmosphere where new talent could prosper. Our cinema hasn't changed the perception of our films. Which film? Only Lunchbox is the only film which was seen by their local audience. So we haven't been given those kind of that kind of cinema, that kind of stories to Western world. If we were giving those kind of stories, then you know we had a chance to change the perception. But right now the perception is not changed. You know. And it's again, you know, they say Bollywood, Bollywood. So it's not a very it's nice to hear that. Do you Hindi cinema has a tremendous appeal all over the world, but it's a sections of, you know, people like Germany में अगर शाहरुख का कोई फैन है या जापान में रजनीकांत के फैन हैं, इस तरह से pockets हैं, and their local audience doesn't go the way we watch Hollywood cinema. They don't watch Hindi film. It's our NRI audience in some section of the society, they watch Hindi film. Two romantic films and one film which I haven't signed it, but I might sign it. It has a sexual overtones, but in a funny way. I'm really dying to do that film. So थोड़ा time लग गया उसको. But let's hope, you know, once I sign it, it will be very funny, you know, which has a sex is the you know, the sex is a part of the story. Foreign के बाद अभी I haven't signed anything. I'm still taking time. I don't think I'll be able to sign because अभी मेरा बिल्कुल एक के बाद एक है यहाँ इंडिया में. उसको अनाउंस करेंगे अभी उसकी सब चीज़ें थोड़ा आ रही हैं कंट्रोल में. वन सब खांचे फिट हो जाएंगे तब अनाउंस करेंगे.